Hello, hello, hello. We're here. We're live. We did it. We did it, fam. We made it. We're streaming. Whew. Whew. Any day you press go live is a good day. It is not easy to do. Oh, man. Yeah, I was taking a picture to post to Instagram and I realized I didn't put eyebrows on. And I was like, well, that can't do. So I went and I ran and I threw some eyebrows on. We're back. So let me post to Instagram real quick before everyone filters in, so hopefully nobody's watching me do this boring part, and I'm sorry if you are. Man, I do not look awake in these photos. Even though I actually feel fairly awake today. I think I'm just, that's just what I look like. Just look tired. Live on Tweesh. Live now, come hang out. This is a sneaky secret that you can probably figure out really easily. On Twitter, I now have an automatic go live tweet whenever I go live that I set up with my Stream Deck. And that seems to be working really well because otherwise I would forget like half the time. I will say it's a bummer that like I can't customize the message every time, or it doesn't at least like change my title. But it's either that or forget half the time, so twitch.tv/exomiamor. That's me. I think that's pretty cute. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. All right, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I do not feel like it's Tuesday because I had yesterday off, so I'm a little out of sorts, as it were. Getting used to getting back in the groove. And by the way, yesterday was not like I have the day off for fun. My kiddo had to get ear tubes for the second time, which is a story. But so I'm a little off, but that's okay. We will get to it. We will do the dang thing. So what are we doing today? We're doing more JavaScript Bootcamp. Today we're doing... It would help if I clicked in the correct tab. So the last thing we did was we were learning about objects, which seems wildly important since I believe JavaScript is an object-oriented language. Look at me knowing stuff. So let's see. We are 90 out of 113 on this basic JavaScript course, and hopefully we'll start ES6 today, which is ECMA script, or ES. Interesting. Okay. Let me grab... Where is my other window? Why is so much happening? There we go. Window. From the window. Through the wall. Oh, I have another tab with all my freeCodeCamp stuff. Why is this happening to me? I'll close this because this is all from last time. And we'll get started over here. Yeah. So yeah, we're just doing some chill, exciting JavaScript nonsense today. Starting with objects. Let's see, testing objects for properties. Sometimes it's useful to check if the property of a given object exists or not. We can use the .hasOwnProperty or prop name method of objects to determine if that object has the given property name. Oh, you know what I just thought about? Clearly paying a lot of attention to what I was just reading. So my partner Coding Vibe has discovered that emojis, or at least stream titles with emojis tend to perform better. Whether or not that's the emoji itself, hard to say. But let me add a little sparkle emoji just for fun. Just to see if that does anything to the title. I feel like I maybe have too many things in my title, but whatever. It's fine. All right. Okay, I added some emojis. Let's see if the theory holds up. Okay, so we're using the hasOwnProperty prop name method of objects. I don't like this. We can use this method of objects. It doesn't... What is English? To determine if that object has the given property name. .hasOwnProperty returns true or false if the value is found or not, okay? So example, my object has hat or top hat, bottom pants. Does it have top? It will return true. Does it have middle? It will return false. So modify checkObj to test if an object is passed to the function obj contains a specific property, check prop. If the property is found, return that value. If not, return not found. Okay, so this function, if it's given object and check prop, we want to see if it contains check prop. So we'll do it's checkObj. CheckObj. CheckObj's object has own property. Hey, Coding Vibe, what's up? Yeah, we're fully in object-oriented programming land today. And we're looking for check prop. It's very exciting. Has check prop. If the property is found, return that property's value. If not, return not found. Let's see. We want to... I feel like they're asking me for a slightly more advanced thing than just putting that in there because they want me to change the return. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Also, I'm going to turn down the music a little bit so I can hear myself. Oh, and as I did that, I heard an alert. Alert! Coding Vibe, thank you for the subscriber. Or, the subscriber? I'm awake, I swear. Coding Vibe, thank you for the sub. 7 whole months. That's a long number of months. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I think I've been subbed to your channel for longer than 7 months, which is really funny. That's because you're much more consistent than me at streaming. The box was blank. Hold. What on earth? Okay, add that to my list of things to fix about the stream. Why is streaming just constant fixing and adjusting and fixing? I'm trying to help my pal Twitty Such get set up with streaming, and it's a process, y'all. Okay, so like I was saying, we're trying to. So maybe we do if true. If has own property equals true. Return the property, which would be check prop. Else return not found. That might be it. Unfortunately, when you stream coding, that only gets worse. True, especially since I know a lot of coding streamers tend to like make their own stream overlay things. I know yours is broken like every other time. Okay. Oh, I have to name it. So I think it's Chep. Dude, thank you for the follow. It's good to see you here. I think that's the mistake I made. Nope. Okay. Let's dig in. It's good to see you, Dude. I need to sub to you just so I can use your little like vibe and emote. Yeah, that one. That's just such a mood. Yes. We're working on some JavaScript today. It's object time, as the kids say. Okay, let's go through this slowly. So we're looking. Check object has own property. I think maybe what I need to do is combine these two lines, because I can add things. So if hello Coding Vibe, yeah, I know we have a small world. Okay. I feel like when I go live, Coding Vibe posts me to Nova's Discord, which is really sweet. But then I'm like, wait a second. It's all these fun Nova people coming over. And it's nice, but it's really funny because I'm not in Nova's Discord, but I probably should be. It's very sweet. Okay, if this equals true. This is my first instinct. This may or may not be correct. But I feel like I can combine these because that's how code works. No. That didn't do it immediately. Okay, let's see. That's very kind of you. And I love all of Nova's people are very friendly, so the vibes are right. The vibes are right. Modify the function checkObj. It is checkObj. To see if an object passed into the function. Oh, if obj. Okay. It's true. Nova's very sweet and very kind. And so is most of the community as far as I've seen. Like, Coding Vibe is always telling me stories like, oh, I was in Nova's Discord today and blah, 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 blah. It's very cute. It's always funny when like a streamer reaches like household name levels. Modify the function. Okay. This is, so let's see, prop name. And that's the prop name. And I'm modifying the function, right? So this is the, it might just be obj. Yeah. Because we're checking the object, not necessarily checking the function. The function is checkob. So I think this should be object dot has own property. See if it has check prop. If it does, true. Return the value. Else return. Oh, that's the other thing is I changed it to a string because I'm so used to strings. Okay, let's see. Unexpected token, expected parentheses. Ah, parentheses, you say. Would it be these two? Probably not. That doesn't feel right to me. No. Invalid left-hand sign. Side. So I think it needs to be parentheses here and then parentheses again before the equal sign. So this is all one statement. If this equals true. Unexpected token. Do I? Oh, that's only for assignment. I'm looking at my notes here. So I need two equal signs. Oh my God, I'm just gonna go like line by line or character by character. Unexpected token. Sometimes it's, I'm gonna reread this whole thing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I only have to mess up on it like 5 times before I start remembering it. Thank you. But I mostly got it because they literally pointed to it right here. Soon. We'll get there. Let's see. But it's still pointing to it. Unknown token or unexpected token. Okay, so let's remove this if statement and just try to look at this. Is this correct? Oh, still got an extra parentheses. Is this correct? Okay, so this is not throwing any errors. So that's something. So I guess I'm just going to separate these out again and see if like I can write an if statement that works. So if obj dot has own property check prop. If statements, JavaScript. If blah. Okay. If this. Squiggly. Curly boy. Curly boy? Oh no, the curly boy goes in front of the else for some reason. Is this anything? Okay. This is somewhere. Jail Codes, hello! Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. It's been so nice to have your face on my TV and on my monitor again. I missed you so much during your leave, and I'm just so excited to see you sometimes. It's so nice. I hope everything's been going so well. We're doing JavaScript. We're learning about objects. And now you'll see what level I'm at. Beginner. Yeah, we watch it on the TV, so I don't always interact in chat, but I'm always, or not always there. I'm always there. I'm watching. But we try to watch a lot. I will say, so my baby doesn't always care about TV, as he shouldn't. He's a baby. He's got more exciting things going on. But he does like when you do cat attention time. So the other day I redeemed it just so that he would look at the screen and be like, hee hee, a cat. So, okay. If it has check prop, which means it would return the value true, then return the value, which is the variable. Otherwise, return not found. So the tests are not working. Yeah. So should return the string. Yeah, babies are pretty cute. It's true. I mean, I'm biased. I think I have the world's cutest baby. But also, you know, people tell me he's cute all the time. Gosh, I this morning I got on a tangent about gender and babies because a friend of mine posted like, oops, sometimes I forget that on Facebook I have like, you know, people who may or may not do gender reveals like unironically, and more likely than not during my time on the internet, it's usually a joke or some like a joke about gender reveals. So TLDR, if I accidentally laugh react at your gender reveal, oops, sorry. And there's someone on the thread who's like, wait, can you talk more about that? Like, I don't understand why gender reveals are harmful, or like why they're funny or whatever. Anyway, I ended up writing like a really long response because it seemed like they really wanted to learn, but they were like, how can something that's done before the kid is even born hurt the kid? And I was like, oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I'm out there just trying to be a parent, trying to not always choose like the very gendered, like hyper-gendered options, and almost everything for everything is hyper-gendered. So if you think that having a gender reveal party, I don't know, I just haven't known anyone who's had one who has also not then placed specific expectations based on the gender reveal onto the kid. Maybe that's my bias and the people that I know, but I think it's really hard to be like, yeah, we're so excited we're having this specific gender, and then like be like, but also gender doesn't matter and it's made up, which is like where babies are. They're born very neutral and then they like learn about gender and acquire it later. So anyway, I've been thinking about that a lot this morning because that's my life. Okay, I don't want to cheat. I want to figure this out. So it's not returning the correct string. So I don't know if that means, all right, I am going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to get a hint. See, okay, I love the Target's baby stuff. And generally they do a better job of having neutral options, and their girl options are not like everything has bows and like frilly bullshit, and their boy options are not like rawr dinosaurs or for boys for some reason. Like they have some more in between stuff and stuff that's not like as heavily gendered, even if it is like just a sprinkling of gender. But then they do stuff like, yeah, like they have a bunch of like woodland creatures kind of stuff. And I don't know why we decided that's for boys, because I guess it's not unicorns. I don't know. I don't really get it. I did have, we had someone who was like, oh, I don't know what gift to get you for your baby shower because I don't know the gender of your baby. And I thought that was kind of wild, until I realized like how many options are just inherently gendered and it's hard to kind of opt out. But like, also like my brand new baby is not going to be like, you gave me a pink bath towel, I am now a girl. Like it just doesn't matter. Dinosaurs are cool for everyone. And this is one of my personal parenting pet peeves, if you will, that dinosaurs have been chosen to be a boy thing, because there are girl dinosaur like clothes and stuff, but they usually have like a cartoon bow or eyelashes or something ridiculous. And I'm like, no, dinosaurs are just universally cool. Like, can't we just agree on that? And then like, I don't know. Dinosaurs are not the worst option if you have to pick something gendered and it's either like unicorns or dinosaurs. I mean, maybe I'll try to do both of those equally, but what I'm really looking forward to is when my kid is old enough to just pick his own stuff. Because right now what I do, this is really fun for me. I show him 2 options every morning for his outfit. And we try to buy like a variety of clothes. I don't buy the super hyper like girl ones, but I also don't buy the super hyper boy ones, right? So we try to have some stuff in the middle. But I'll show him 2 options and he'll like grab the one that he wants to wear. I don't know if he knows that we're doing that yet, but that's how we do it. So I'm trying to just like kind of follow his lead from the beginning. So if he is like, oh, I love dinosaurs and I want to wear all the like boy dinosaur stuff, or if he's like, oh, I love dinosaurs and I also love bows and I want to wear all the girl dinosaur stuff, or what's more likely, I think most kids are a mix of everything, right? So I'm just trying to follow his lead is my point. And it's harder when he's younger and doesn't have as much of an opinion yet. I feel like that's going to change now that he's a toddler, but it's harder when they're younger, because I don't want him to be like, oh, I love dinosaurs because you have just put dinosaurs around me my whole life because of like what gender I was assigned at birth, you know? Normal people don't think about this. Okay. You do not need to declare any additional variables or define any objects. Okay. You must use function arguments, and check prop, which I think I did. Why is my Google Calendar open? Riddle me this. Okay. I used check prop. Okay. Old solutions found in the replies. It's been edited. Okay. Why is there bracket notation? I wasn't ready. Help, I wasn't ready. Okay, let's look. Okay, so I think I got all this right. If it has own property, check prop. Oh, I didn't put parentheses. So, no, I did. I just, I checked it and then I put parentheses. And I also put the parentheses in the wrong place. So my initial thought that I could combine these was correct. So I'm going to delete this line. So it had to do with my return was returning incorrectly. Return. Why is it bracket notation? Does anyone in the chat have an easy explanation? Like why does, oh, it's because objects. This is what I get for cutting the stream last time in the middle of learning about objects. That's how you look up a property of an object, right? Is that right? I'm gonna do that's how you access the value of a property in an object. Okay, cool. All right, no judgment. Okay. No judgment allowed to myself and others. But yeah, I'm talking to myself as much as anyone else. It's because objects. Yeah, thank you. I literally last time went, so let me show, I'll pull this up. I like just started doing, yeah, I've done a couple of object things and then I cut the stream. So probably interrupting my brain in the middle of learning some important things. Object key equals value and then you access with object key. Got it. Okay. So what I was doing was I just picked this as a variable, but it's not a variable because it's within an object. It's a property, I think. Blah, blah, blah. No, don't care about this. Okay. Object properties. And this is how you access them. Okay. We'll see if I'm deeply worried I'm not going to remember that going forward, but we'll try. And then there's a squiggly. I think I need more squigglies. Let's see. No, I think I have the correct amount of squigglies. Excuse me? Did I do this wrong too? Okay, so this, it's both. You can use a variable as a key in an object. So JavaScript will use the value of the variable for the key. Okay, are they saying key or I just want to make sure I'm getting my what do you call it? My words right, my vocabulary here. Because I think what you're calling a key, they are calling a property. Is that right? And it also probably depends on what you learned objects in first as a language, right? Okay, so the other thing I got wrong, or I didn't do right, or whatever you want to call it. So it returns true or false, but apparently I don't need to like test for is true. This just says, if this exists, return the value. Interesting. Okay. I don't think that makes sense. I think it's weird that I don't have to specify, because to me this also reads as you don't need to compare it to true because it already returns true or false. Yeah, I guess I'm not trying to compare it. I guess my thought was like, how does it know I only want it to return when it's true? Right? Like I'm not saying like return if true at any point. So this could be like, couldn't this also be read as like, if this is false, then return it? But apparently not, because programming. Although it's still not working, so let me double check the solution. Okay, anything in brackets gets called a key. Okay. I'm gonna just copy this bad boy, make it easier for me to read. Why is paste not a thing? Is it because they don't want me to cheat? Because has on property only returns true when the property is in the object. Right, but what am I trying to say? If it returns false, how does it know false goes to this line and not this line? Thank you, Doohoo. I feel justified in my confusion. Okay, this is my squigglies. My curly boys are missing over here. When you return, you exit the method. Oh, Chael, I think you got me. I think you got my brain working. So when you return, oh no, wait, I understood it for a second and then it just slipped away. What I was understanding what you said is when you do return, you exit what this is checking for. So this is saying, if this is true, because I guess we don't care about false. What this is saying is, if this has a value, then do this. And this exits this, which is called the method. And if it doesn't have this, then it's just going to go to else. Okay. I think I get it enough to move on. This does seem like a thing that's going to come up again in if it's false, you skipped everything in the curlies and continue. Okay, cool. I will not be surprised if I get this wrong again before I start remembering it forever. Okay. Now, why are these not returning the correct strings? Here, you will not be able to see this because of the way that I'm sharing my screen, but I'm gonna. Thank you, chat. You are all so very helpful. But I separated it out so that I can look at my code side by side here. If you need another hint for the last one, no, I'm determined. I literally have the solution right here, so I should be able to get this. No, but thank you. I'll let you know if I need a hint. I just need to go thing by thing. Is it these beautiful? Yeah, I did it as a string. I love to string everything. I love to make everything a string. I'm like, oh, if it's text that I understand and not you know, the actual code, it's definitely a string. Return exits the whole method, not just the if statement. Okay. Chael knows everything. I feel like one thing I really like about you, Chael, is that you are good at, like, on your streams as well, talking about and explaining like the why for everything. And that's important. And you're good at that. That's like the level of programmer you are. I was talking with Coding Vibe about, you know, like, it seems like a lot of the folks that do programming streams are now learning Go and Ruby and like these other, and Rust and these languages that are more complex, but have better performance. And I'm like, that's like a wild level to be at. Like, no, I need to learn a very complicated thing to save a couple milliseconds of runtime or whatever that adds up over whatever it is that you're programming. And I think that's fascinating. I love that people understand this deeply enough that they can do wild stuff with it. Maintaining complex objects. Oh, good. I was worried because the objects were not complex enough before. Sometimes you may want to store data in a flexible data structure. A JavaScript object is one way to handle flexible data. They allow for arbitrary combinations of strings, numbers, booleans, arrays, functions, and objects. Here's an example. I was talking to my boss and she was like, it is very wild to me as someone who learned how to do objects in, I think she said it was like C++, that like watching you learn how to do objects in and like data structures in JavaScript, I'm like, what is this? And my impression of JavaScript is everything is made up and the points don't matter. So that it does seem like they're like, yeah, you can have any type of data. Why not? I know that's not true for other languages. So here's an example of a complex data structure. Const R music, artist, Daft Punk, loosey goosey. That's a good way to describe it. Or what do they call it? It's like the whatever, not truthiness, but something like that, right? Isn't there a programming word that's like true-ish? It all feels very ish, is what I'm saying. Daft Punk homework released in 97. Formats. Oh, it's a tiny array. I find JavaScript more mind-bending because you can do so much more wild stuff than a lower level language. Yes, exactly. That's what's weird about it. So my first like foray into programming besides HTML and CSS was Python, and Python to me makes so much logical sense. And then I got to JavaScript and I'm like, what is this? Why can't I just like put stuff anywhere and it doesn't matter? Gold, true. This is an array which contains one object. The object has all this metadata about the album. It also has a nested formats array. If you want to add more album records, you can do this by adding records to the top level array. Objects hold data in a property, which has a key value format. Okay, now we're talking about keys, key value. In the example above, artist Daft Punk is a property that has a key of artist and a value of Daft Punk. Okay. Truthy is such a good word. Everything needs to just have sort of like an ish version of the word. Truth-ish, truthy-ish, JavaScript-ish. You'll need to place a comma after every object unless it's the last in the array. I'm glad they said that because I bet that means a lot of people have messed this up trying to add more data points to this. Add a new album to the My Music array, add artist and title strings, release year, number, and a format array of strings. Oh, y'all, what album should we add? This is exciting. I'm gay, so I'm going to say Chromatica. I just saw Lady Gaga recently at the Chromatica ball, and it was very exciting. So I'm clearly on a Lady Gaga kick. I'm also on the Chicks kick, which is unexpected for me to go back to some country. Haven't listened to country regularly in 1,000 years, but I guess we're doing that. But chat, if you mutiny and you want me to do a different album, I will. But there's already Daft Punk, so I don't know what Coding Vibe is going to say. Okay. So I need a comma, and that's one thing I want to make sure I do now before I forget. Ooh, Fortnite. Well, they did do an Ariana Grande collab, so I mean, that's not the weirdest thing that could happen. Actually, okay, what's weird about Fortnite is I'm old and haven't played Fortnite since it came out. And I had no idea how many different properties are now in Fortnite. So like I was watching Coding Vibe play and I was like, why is Goku here? Why is the guy from Borderlands here? Why is everything everywhere at once? Kids these days don't even know. You used to have to wait till like Smash Brothers to get a battle royale with all these different characters and licenses. Chromatica. It would be kind of late for a Gaga collab though, because like the album came out 2 years ago. Release year, that was 2020. Anyone else remember? I think I'm the only Gaga fan in the chat right now, but she was supposed to initially release it like in March, and then she's like, everything's terrible. Maybe we don't focus on that right now. Maybe we focus on like trying to figure out this whole pandemic thing, and like we'll address my album later. Unless she's doing a single/virtual concert. That does seem like a very Lady Gaga thing to do. I feel like she does a lot of cool tech stuff. Okay, what formats did you sell it on? Where would that be? Where would that be? I know there's a CD. It's not on that side. Maybe release history. Here we go. CD plus DVD. Ooh. I'm going to add that just to be spicy. Japan getting all the good formats. Vinyl. And there's also a cassette. Vinyl. And I guess I'll do digital download and streaming because it is true. And I'm not going to capitalize download. That doesn't feel right. Yeah, they didn't have those when Billy Joel released Piano Man. Streaming. Okay, they put a comma after this nested array, so I'm going to put a comma after this nested array. Very Regina George style. Was it gold? I imagine. Yes. Wait. Huh? How could it not be gold in the US? What? Hold. I don't believe this. I'm Googling it. Is Chromatica a flop? Wow. No, gold. It's gold in the UK. Gold in France. USA? Yes. Yes. I'm going to say yes. I think this is just not up to date. Because, yeah. If it's not true, I want it to be true. Okay. Add a new album. So my music should be an array. It's an array. It should have at least 2 elements. Done. They should be objects. I think I did that. Should have at least 4 properties. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Should contain these. Did I do it? The comma's there because it's not the last property value. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Because these 2 have commas. So this one has a comma too. It just is, it looks interesting because it's broken up on different lines. Cool. Awesome. We did it. We did an object thing. We didn't struggle. Accessing nested objects. The sub-properties of objects can be accessed by chaining together the dot or bracket notation. First try, baby. Oh, I'm a natural. Here's a nested object. Const R storage. Desk Drawer has stapler. Cabinet, top drawer, folder file. Yeah, okay. I do wish, this is my one bummer about the emotes on the like the wall of emotes or whatever that Stream Elements does, is that it doesn't do animations. So it just looks like this instead of the bongos. It's just kind of like, hello, I'm frozen. I'm Disney's Frozen. Okay. So this has an well, wait, hold on. A nested object. Subproperties of objects. Oh, okay. So inside cabinet, there's other things. A file and secrets. So our storage.cabinet top drawer folder 2. Oh God. Oh God. This all makes sense. It's just very long. And our storage.desk.drawer would be stapler. Access the my storage object and assign the contents of the glove box property to glove box contents variable. Use dot notation, otherwise use bracket notation. I'm going to drink some water because I cannot speak. Okay, one step at a time. So this is the my storage object. The contents of glove box should be assigned to the glove box contents variable. Here is the glove box contents variable. So we just need to do my storage dot car bracket I guess I can't just do, oh no, I can do car dot glove box. Oh no, I can't because it's a string. That's why I have to use brackets for this one, I believe. Glove box. Oop, nope. Let's see. My storage. Car. Oh, I forgot inside. So this will be dot inside. Do you consider the trunk the outside of the car? Because that's what this is saying. All right, did it. Only one mistake. I'm still celebrating that. Accessing nested arrays. As we have seen in earlier examples, objects can contain both nested objects and nested arrays. Similar to accessing nested objects, array bracket notation can be chained to access nested arrays. Here's an example. Our pets, cat, Meowser, Fluffy, Kit Kat, dog, Spot, Bowser, Frankie. Our pets 0.names 1. So 0 is this first one, so the cats, and 1 is the second one, which is Fluffy, which is what they say. Okay, and our pets 1 names 0, 1, Spot. Okay, using dot and bracket notation, set the variable second tree to the second item in trees from the myPlants object. Second tree is myPlants dot. Nope, bracket. We're doing brackets. Well, yeah. And we're trying to set it to the second item in the trees list. So that's index of 1 dot list to the second item would be 1 as well. Should use dot and bracket notation. What if I only want to do bracket? Because that's what I remember. I want to amend a previous statement. If it's a word in brackets, it's called a key. If it's a number, it's an index. I got you. That makes sense. That checks out. Second tree should equal the string pine, and it currently even isn't pulling that. So I'm doing some wrong stuff, and that's fine. So let's just do my plants.trees. Did that do it? No. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so let's look at the example again. Our pet's 0. So I want to do our pets 1. Or my plants 1. So comfy. Yeah, cozy vibes. That's such a good emote. Do I have any comfy emotes? Oh, this only shows me... Oh, there it is. Okay. I was like, why is it only showing me my emotes? I want everyone's emotes. There's Shales. Shales is cozy. Trash is comfy. It provides warmth. True. Okay. I feel like this is correct. Okay, so it already had quotes, and that doesn't feel... Was it not there when I started this? Because it just went correct. Reset. Yeah. This is misleading. Tell me this is not misleading. That it started it like with these quotes, and then the answer did not have quotes in it. I feel a little betrayed. I'm not going to lie to you. Where did I mess up? No, I should have known I'm beautiful. I'm perfect. And I did everything great. Okay. Record collection. You're given an object literal. Object literal is a new phrase for me. Let's see if they tell me what that means. Representing a part of your musical album collection. Each album has a unique ID number as its key and several other properties. Not all albums have complete information. You start with an update records function that takes an object literal records containing the musical album collection, an ID, a prop like artist or tracks, and a value. Complete the function using the rules below. I'm not sure what an object literal is. Okay, so it's not just me. It sounds like it means the exact same thing as when you say object in JavaScript. Oh, you define and create a JavaScript object with an object literal. Let me zoom in a little bit on this. If you've been here for a while, you know my keyboard's a little jank because I'm using it for both my MacBook and my PC, and I'm currently streaming on my PC, but trying to get my MacBook as a video input. And TLDR, I don't know why, but copy and paste isn't working properly on my Windows one. So you'll, and other like keyboard stuff. So you'll see me struggle and do things the long way sometimes. And it's not because I don't know how to zoom with my keyboard shortcuts. It's because the keyboard doesn't make sense anymore. Okay. So you describe, oh, I need to skip this song that has vocals or like someone talking because I can't talk while someone else is. Let's see. Okay, so you define and create with an object literal. So that just when you define the object, it's called an object literal. Object literal versus object is a thing I want to Google. Objects created using object literal are singletons. This means when a change is made, it affects the entire script. Whereas a constructor function, okay. This one is specific to JavaScript, so I'm going to click an object literal is flat. You create it, you add properties and methods to it, and all of the properties and methods are public. You can mutate any members of the object of that object at any time. A JavaScript object literal does not, by nature, provide private scope. but any of the members of an object literal can certainly be a function that is capable of private scope. Their object literals are useful because they allow you to create clean namespaced code that is easy to pass around and consume. And then there's also, I guess, instance objects, which are different. So far we haven't learned about instance objects, so I'm not going to, because I don't want to confuse myself. But let's just say the objects that we're making, we now know that they're also called object literals from context clues. This is like the way that they do Rosetta Stone, right? Where they just like tell you the word and you have to figure out what it means. Okay, so we are completing the function using the rules below to modify the object passed to the function. Your function must always return the entire... Even after listening to the definition, I still don't get it, and I've been a web dev for a decade. Okay, you know what? That's great. That's actually great news, because that means I don't have to fully understand it, and I'll be fine. Your function must always return the entire record collection object. If prop isn't... Well, let's start with that. Let's do one thing at a time. This is the function. And it should returns records. Which the object is... How does it know? Oh, because you input records. ID. Prop value. Interesting. So I'm assuming this is the ID, these ones. And it just knows it's an ID. I don't have to tell it these numbers mean ID. Interesting. Okay. This feels like it's going to be a little complicated, but I'm ready for the challenge. Must always return the entire object. I wish it would show me what the current output is, but it only shows me what the result of the tests are. A copy of record collection object is used for the test. Okay. If prop isn't tracks and value isn't an empty string. So a string literal is when a string is written in the code and it's always the same, versus strings that are passed in through parameters or returned from a method, and that string can be different whenever the method is executed. Okay. So like this is not the correct term for it, but like hard-coded versus flexible. Maybe object literals are the same way. Maybe. Oh, is an object literally just an object not made with the new keyword? I think so. I think that's what the blog said. But then there's also some like more specific. Yeah, see, an instance object is... Oh, hard-coded is the right word. Yay! Look at me. An instance object is what is returned when instantiating a JavaScript constructor function using the new keyword. So yeah, you do know. You just haven't heard object literal before. Because it's interesting, because learning... I've mentioned this before, but when you look at what these are called, like each of these lessons, they sound more complicated than they are. Like, what's a good example? Compound assignment with augmented addition. If I wrote that on a resume, I'd be like, whoa, that sounds wild, but it's just plus and, right? So I think sometimes when we talk about code, it makes it sound more complicated than just the actual concept is, because they, like, what was the word? Instantiating? Come on, that's not a word. I mean, it is, but it's, it's not a word people use. Yes. Yeah, we're all learning here, and I appreciate that, because that means it makes me feel better as a beginner knowing that even folks in the chat that have been doing this for 10 years are still like, huh, I've never heard it called that before. Also, anytime we have less imposter syndrome is a win, if you ask me. Although, okay, when I started in DevRel, I moved from marketing over to DevRel, and I was like the most technical person on my team previously, but obviously we weren't doing anything technical. It was just like when we talked to the developer team that we had for this tool we were using, I was usually better at talking to them than other people. And I had started with my new therapist around the same time, and she was like, it sounds like you have some imposter syndrome around your new job. And I'm like, I don't think it counts as imposter syndrome. Like literally everyone else here can code and I do not have that skill. Like this is not about my value as a person. It's about like literally what I am and am not capable of. Like it's not a value judgment of like, oh, I suck because I am less talented than these other people. No, it's just like my skill set is different and I'm the outlier on my team. That's the challenge I was dealing with. Not like I don't believe in my ability or like that I got this job because I deserved it or something. So sometimes I think we jump to imposter syndrome when it's like, no, there is a real challenge in like leveling up your skill set, and you can have imposter syndrome with that. But what I was experiencing at the time was not specifically imposter syndrome. Now I've had that in many other ways, but yeah, I think I was like, no, this is just the truth. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I wish it would show me what it's returning, right? Like how can I know if it's returning the entire record collection object? I'm going to skip that one for now. I've heard of object literals and just glossed over it, assuming that the code would be simpler than the vocab. Yeah, literally though. Object literally though. Just learning the code is sometimes easier. It's like, it's the same reason why like explaining any concept is sometimes so much harder than just like actually being able to do it, right? Talking about code is a completely different skill set than just coding, in my humble onion. If prop isn't tracks and value isn't an empty string, update or set that album's prop to value. Oh, geez. Okay. So I'm going to leave that return there. And I'm going to make an if statement because it says literally the word if. I think that's a hint. If prop is tracks. If tracks. This is combining so many things at once. It's kind of brain breaking for me, but we're going to push through. If tracks. So what I'm trying to say is if prop isn't tracks and value isn't empty, about figuring out what is being returned by the array, do you have a console to console.log to? I mean, I could make one. I mean, make one. I could pull up the my Windows one. I don't have it on my... I'll add it to OBS real quick just in case it seems useful. Because, yeah, I hadn't set it up to do that because previously with freeCodeCamp, I hadn't had to have anything external. Window capture. Terminal. Yeah. The difference between working in a garage fixing cars and designing cars. Yeah. Those are two things I don't know. I met in freeCodeCamp. No. As far as I know. But I think I need one for this because this is already breaking my brain. So I'm not mad about adding it. It's probably a thing I should do anyway. Dang, I agree. That's the correct response. So, okay. I don't actually... Is this good enough? Oh, this is so ugly. It's fine. BRB transitioning. Woo! Did someone say rainbows? I'm just... let me see if I can zoom in on this. Properties? I'll make it bigger. Hey. Oh, now it's huge on the screen. One day I'd like to get to the car designer level of knowledge with code, but until then I'm happy being a code mechanic. It's so funny you say that because so Coding Vibe, when he first learned how to code, it was actually Woo, I'm back. Skip this track. There we go. So it was actually like a thing where they learned how to debug code but not write it. Like that was the test that they were doing basically. And I think that's really funny. I don't know. It's like the complete opposite of what people would do now. Oh yeah, that's true. I was thinking it would just spit it out, but you're right. Well, great news. I now have this for the future. But I'll delete it for now. Okay, enough transitions. Back to coding. Note, a copy of the record collection object is used for the tests. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I don't even really know where to start here. So if tracks is not or if prop is not tracks, this is just me like translating it literally, and I don't think it's right at all. This looks scary and complicated. Hi, Twitty Such. It is scary and complicated. I don't know when we jump to this, but it's gonna be okay because I got to add an album to I got to make an object out of an album earlier, and I did Chromatica, and that was nice. So you know, we have some wins, we have some loses. Okay, so that's one condition. Don't worry, we'll do this. Thank you, Coding Vibe. Thank you. Love that for you, bestie. Yeah, nobody in the chat mutinied, so together forever. We will figure this out. If I want to do two conditions, oh gosh. Two conditions, if statement, JavaScript. If oh, right, the pipe. Well, the pipe is or. Oh God, I hate Stack Overflow. Why am I not just finding someone who's written about this as a concept? No, it is the blocks. And equals and. Okay, cool. You two are so cute. Oh, thank you. Clearer than or IMO. Oh, okay, yeah. And then or is pipe for some reason. We don't have an or symbol, I suppose. Okay. Hey, don't give me that. I'm not ready to hear about my errors, okay? I'm still working on this. And value is not an empty string. So my current method is try something and then see what's messed up about it. Which I think is just coding in a nutshell. Then let prop equal value. Is this anything? Oh, I think we're doing nested if statements too, which I want to look up the... Yeah, try something and see what is messed up about it is my entire game plan. Okay, good. Actually, this was nested, right? Because it was like if this or this or this, else this. Okay, so... But I want to nest them because these are longer... No, not Excel. Yes, JavaScript. Thank you, Google, for... Also, I totally forgot to set up a call with you. Dude, I was gonna reach out, but then between baby and we recorded for the podcast, it was like 10:30, and I was like, if I don't go to bed now, I'm gonna die. So we can do that tonight or later. I feel you. You need to set a parens to wrap the whole condition, including those. Yeah, I just realized I'm probably doing... Okay. Like this, right? Or do I need tracks is not defined? Don't tell me. Yeah, it was a long day yesterday because we woke up at 5 a.m. to take my baby to a minor surgery, which is a whole situation. It was just tubes. It's not scary, but we were very tired. I feel like we need more parentheses, but hold on. I'm doing this first. If this, else this. No, I want more. I want more statements. Else if, else if, else if. I know there was an easier way to do this. If this. Yeah, I was like, wait, this isn't right, and it's not. That feels good. Okay. A is 1 and B is 2, else A is not 1. Yeah, truthy, my favorite programming word, has popped up again. So this is if this and this, then this. Otherwise, if one is not true, then do this. So that might be how we do this. If this and this, do this. Tracks is not defined. Yeah. So I need to do the notation because it's inside the object. That's right. And the object is records. Is that right? Record collection? The object is this. This is so hard. Let's see. The object literal is records. Okay, so I think it is records.tracks. Okay, look. One of these tests worked. We're on the right track, baby. We were born this way. I guess it's just a Gaga day. When is it not a Gaga day? Okay. We're still working on this. So if and value, which is this function takes value and a value and a value. Okay. If prop is tracks, oh, thank you for the cheer. Woo, 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 woo. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for popping by. I'll try to pop by your stream soon too, because I feel like I haven't seen you in a bit. But yeah, have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you. Okay, we got this. We've got the power of bits and cheers on our side. I hope the JavaScript isn't too mean to you. Thank you. It is it's a bully. It's homophobic, and that's fine. This is it's bisexual visibility week actually, so it's even more than that. Oh my god, I keep forgetting. Oh, it's not even visible in my background, but I have a little neon rainbow that I keep forgetting to turn on, and it's the bi pride colors, which is really fun, but you can't even see it because of the way my camera's set up. So YOLO. Maybe I'll move it lower so that you can see it on stream, but I don't turn it on all the time because I don't want the batteries to run out, and it's like I'm being too precious with it. I want it to bring me joy. Or I want it to just turn on automatically so I don't have to think about it. But yeah, I'm very visible this week. And then I think in October, there's like a pronouns day. So I've been talking with some folks about, at work about doing some stuff around that. And I'm like, man, I'm just so visible lately. I feel so visible. Kind of wild. Okay. So I'm going to do some else ifs, and if that's not right, then whatever. I would like to disappear, actually. Exactly. That's what I mean. I'm just, like it's also, hi Liz. It's part of my activism to be active and visible, but like also I'm tired and would like to not be perceived. That is also my gender. So please do not perceive me. Exactly. Oh, sorry about that. I was just talking to somebody. I'm shy, but like in the Ash Nico way, where you're not. No, I was just talking to somebody about like makeup and how I view it very much like as a gender performance. And if I'm wearing makeup, I want you to know, because it's like I didn't put this on for no reason. Like I want you to be aware that I'm wearing makeup. But like sometimes I also just want to blend into the background like a little chameleon. And I have not chosen an aesthetic that allows for that necessarily. What's it like being part of the bourgeoisie? I was just thinking about that. So there was this really bad take on Twitter yesterday that I promise you has to be a troll that's just trying to get engagement. Because there's a couple bad takes lately that I'm just... There's one that was talking about like bisexual celebrities that aren't actually bisexual because they haven't visibly dated people of the same gender. And I'm like... If you think that's what it takes to be bisexual, I don't even know where to start with you. Like we've had this discussion for years. That's not it. That's not it, fam. And it also included 2 celebrities that haven't come out as bi. So I was like, this has to be like just like outrage baiting. But there's this other thing that was basically like gender expression is inherently part of capitalism. And therefore, if you have clothes or hair, you are participating in gender or in capitalism or something. And I'm just like, cool. You're stupid. I mean, what's it like to be naked and not live in a society, I guess. But yeah, that's not even remotely true. I mean, is a lot of what our perception of gender is tied to appearance and therefore tied to like capitalist structures about appearance? Sure. That's not what they said though. They said if you are like basically if you're genderqueer and you have a queer looking haircut, then you are the bourgeoisie. Okay. I got to see the Texas Subaru license plate. That's really cute. I just learned, so I knew Subarus were like a lesbian trope, right? But I just looked into the history of, I can't believe I'm about to type Subaru lesbian on stream, but I looked into the history because I was like, well, where did that come from? Is it just because it's like a sporty car? But it's actually, they did like some subtle and literal and more obvious, lesbian ads, like ads aimed at lesbians. So if you read some of these articles, it's really interesting. They were doing a marketing thing and they were like, okay, thank you for the follow, Strawberry Armpit. What a username. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a good time. Yeah, they did. So they looked and they said, okay, what are some like underserved audiences that we want to reach out to with these ads? And one of them was lesbians. And so they wanted to do some ads where if you were in the group, you would know, but if you weren't, it wouldn't be like, overtly offensive or whatever. But they have like, obviously, like, at least we've got our priorities straight. Like it's gotten more evident over the years. So like, I think this was one of the original ones was like, they showed, they just showed like different cars that were ready for different scenarios. I wish I could zoom in. Why? It's not letting me. Yeah, that were built for different scenarios. And like, there was like a rainbow flag and the HRC logo and stuff like that. That's like more just like, yeah, Xena lover. Hello, lesbians. P-Town, which is a gay town and things like that. So yeah, it was all like really subtle. And then sometimes it got more obvious. So yeah, I thought it was really interesting to see where that came from. It's like an actual thing. And Subaru embraced it way earlier than was trendy. So, hats off to them for rainbow capitalism before it was rainbow capitalism. Okay. So else if tracks, if prop is equal to tracks, but it doesn't have a tracks property. Create an empty array and add value to it. Oh my God, this is so confusing. If prop is tracks. Nope. And then there's going to be another parentheses. And how do you check if a property exists again? I think there's a dot notation for it. Yeah. Object name dot property name. Records dot tracks. I guess, and if it's empty, which I think I need to add that. And it's empty, then create an empty array and add value to it. Create an array? Oh, I think I just do. Let me know if you need any guidance. Yeah, hints are welcome. Because I feel like this is, oh God, is there a way to block songs that have just like spoken word? Let's see. Instrumental only music. Good. Because I cannot handle the songs that are like someone talking at me for 3 minutes while I'm trying to talk and think. Okay, so let's look at reviews. An array literal. Oh, we're so literal today. Okay, so I think what we're doing here is we're gonna make record dot tracks equal an empty array. And assign and add value to it. Okay. Add value to the array. Let's see. And that's I'm guessing that's a push or a pop type thing. Arrays are objects. Okay, good to know. Dot length, accessing the element, looping, adding. Here we go. Yeah. Push value. Oh my God. Okay. I just did like 4 things and I don't think any of them was working. So that's good. Okay. Let's see. So this is saying lexical declaration cannot appear in a single statement context. Okay. Well, I definitely forgot a parentheses here, but I don't think that's the thing. Let's look at these ifs. If this, curly brace. If this, curly brace. This. Else if this. Forgot a curly brace here. So that's something. Ooh, big brain hours. Hey, Lena. How's it going? We're struggling. It's fine. We're just vibing. We got some friends in the chat rooting me on. Unexpected token. Oh, now it's mad about the parentheses. Okay. Oh, that's because I didn't have one here. Maybe. Just adding things all over the place. Before you move on, can we look back at your first if statement / code block for a bit? Absolutely, because I know it's wrong. That's what I'm working on. Hi, Sultanas. Sultanas? Let me know if I'm saying it wrong. It's good to see you. So here's what so I think this is okay because I'm saying if these two conditions are true, if prop is not tracks and the value is not blank, then change the prop to value. But now it's mad at record.tracks. You are saying it perfectly. Great. Awesome. That is not a strength of mine. So always happy to accidentally get it right. Well, it's fine with that up here. Interesting. Because then here it's mad about it. Missing initializer in const declaration. Hi, Creature Next. How's it going? It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so in that first one, you're looking to make sure the prop isn't tracks. Prop is supposed to be a string representing the property you're looking at. So you'd be comparing it to the property, not the value. Oh, okay. So it needs to be a string. You're looking to make sure prop isn't tracks. Like, do I need to set these as strings, I guess? This is my question. Maybe. Do I just make everything a string? Everything's a string. Bootcamp. Yeah, this is about the JavaScript bootcamp I'm taking. It's free. Ramon is teaching it. So it's a self-paced. You do this freeCodeCamp course, but there are also lectures and there's also a Discord and also a discourse, just to make it real confusing. And then there's a certificate at the end. So that is what we're currently doing. It's working on this bootcamp. And I need to actually go into Class Central and tell them, like, I am doing this. I am simply behind. Yeah, it is pretty sick. That's true. I think it's cool. Okay. You're checking to see if prop is in the tracks property. So this isn't a string because what I'm saying is, like, is this input in tracks? Wait, is this input, if prop isn't tracks? So it was what this saying, is this input in the tracks category? Yeah, he is really nice. I've watched a couple of his streams. The ones for this this round of the boot camp are actually at like 2 a.m. my time, so I haven't gotten. I watched them on demand, but every time I pop by his stream or a stream that he's on, he's very friendly. So what I'm trying to do here is think about like what is prop? Are we trying to say if I input this and I put like a track title, is that saying if prop is not tracks and the value is not empty, right? If prop is not tracks and the value is not empty, is that not what I'm saying? If prop is not tracks and the value is not empty. Okay, I think what you're trying to tell me is that this part I'm doing wrong. So let's zoom in here. If prop is not. So I think maybe the problem here is that what you're currently saying is if prop is not whatever is stored in records.tracks. Yeah, okay. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to verbalize. So right now what I'm saying is like, okay, so let's say I'm talking about the track Let It Rock. Right now what this code is saying is if I type in Let It Rock, if let it rock is not this. I think it's doing all of these instead of an individual one. So there's something about the array I think that I'm not getting. Let me see. Are any of these things helpful today? Object name dot property name. Object name dot property name. But then it's an array. So a nested array. Here's what I'm Googling. JavaScript nested array in object. And I know we did this, but I need help. No, don't tell me JSON. We're trying to be boring here. Traversing nested objects. This is the correct verb for this. How to access inner properties. Person.years held. Person years held. However, we can see that years held is a property of occupation, which turns into a property of person. If we try occupation.years held, is the if statement supposed to look at anything that's in the array? Yeah. Right? If prop isn't tracks. No, it's not. Well, it is here. But that's actually the next part. So maybe I can just delete that for now. What it's... if prop isn't tracks. Well, then maybe I don't even... I don't know. No, you were getting there. Am I? I feel like I went backwards. I feel like I was getting closer and then I got further. If prop isn't tracks. Prop isn't tracks. Well, okay. Are you telling me that I don't need records dot tracks? Is it just tracks? Because that doesn't feel right, given everything. Well, it didn't immediately break it, so that's something. Just a string. Oh, string, you say? That's a hint. Just the string tracks. Okay, so let me try to understand this. Does string... Well, I guess, like, why is it a string? Because I'm not inputting a string. I'm just inputting not the word tracks. So I guess that's a string. Yikes. Okay. Let's see. If prop is not literally just the word tracks and value is not empty, then let prop equal value. Else, if prop is tracks, which I guess now is a string, and the album doesn't have a tracks property, which I think is this because we're doing a property. This is calling the property. Create an empty array. I don't know if this whole statement is correct. The album doesn't have a tracks property, but It's the closest I can do for now. Then create an empty array and add value to it. Okay. So this says missing initializer in const declaration. Const assignment. No. The function update records is trying to update a property of a specific record. So that check is to see, are we trying to update a property that isn't in the tracks array? And you would check that by making sure prop is not string tracks. Okay. I don't know what it is it's not clicking yet. I guess like because it's not a string in the object, my brain is like, therefore is not string. Like, but clearly not. Yeah, ask some questions. Yeah, that's my question. Like, it's not a string, it's a whatever this is, it's a property in the object or a key. Yeah, the quotes up there aren't necessary. Tracks is still a string. Like this up in these objects, this is still a string even though there's not quotes. I don't believe you. Sounds fake, but okay. JavaScript is a property a string. This is not what I wanted. I wanted a yes or no. Okay, let me look at this next one. Missing initializer in const declaration. I'm just gonna Google that error. When a const declaration was not given a value in the same statement, like const red flag, you need to provide one, const red flag equals this. Okay, so I'm saying const record.tracks exists. But I have an equals, so I'm assigning it to something. Don't use const if you weren't meaning to declare constant. Oh, that's the problem. Constant. Maybe let? Because it's not a global variable. Okay, it's still mad. Missing semicolon. Okay, see, that's actually useful to me. Thank you, thank you. I do this, and then I do this. Where's the semicolon? The semicolons are everywhere. Missing semicolon. It still says I'm missing one. I don't put one there. I don't put one there. Record tracks push value. I'm moving on to the next thing. If prop is tracks. Okay, all right, we can copy the code from above for this guy. If prop equals string tracks for whatever reason. And value is not an empty string. And I'm just going to add more parentheses because that feels correct. If you put your mouse over this red squiggly boy, does anything pop up? No. I didn't even notice there were red squiggly boys. So it's telling me this is wrong. Is this the same problem where I just need to do tracks? Unexpected token. Well, that's later. Okay, so I killed it. So why doesn't it need all this extra stuff I'm trying to do? Like, it doesn't need to know that I'm referencing this property of this object. The legend. Like, okay, so is the... Oh, that's always good to preface it with this. Can't wait to hear what this is gonna be. Ah! No, help me, because I'm clearly stuck on this. Oh, great. Okay. You're like, stop writing more things. It's all incorrect. That's the easiest one to get right, and it'll make it much easier to do all the rest. All right, all right, all right. Thank you for not just watching me flounder and letting me live like this, I guess. Oh, great. But it's not the correct statement for what I'm trying to do. Now you're supposed to set the property prop of the specific records in records with ID to the value. What? How was I supposed to get that from what they said? So I have to use every single thing that they gave me as the input? Is that why? So I have to use all of those different variables? This doesn't feel right. Hold on. Not that I'm doubting you. I just feel like this is like needless. Like this is a large leap from where we've been. For a given ID parameter which is associated with the object, blah blah blah. Use an if-else-if chain, okay? To access the value of a key in this object, you'll use records ID prop. You can't push to an array that doesn't exist. Use has own property to check first. Like, holy shit, like all this is so hard. Okay. I'm gonna look at the solution. I don't get this. I'm gonna look at all the solutions. First checks if value is a blank string. If so, then the key is removed from the object. If that first check doesn't pass, it checks if prop is equal to tracks. If it does not exist, it makes the array. It's called short circuit evaluation. See below, for example. So then if both of these fail, meaning value is not an empty string and prop is not tracks, then either. So records ID prop is accessing the object inside the records object defined by the key ID and then accessing the property prop of that object. Okay, I mean, that's what I was trying to do with tracks, but that was apparently not the right place to do it. So I need to at least use this for everything that I have prop as, right? Like, weird that I didn't need it for tracks, but I do need it for this. I would understand if I needed it for both, but I don't understand only needing it for one. I'm not sure. I would understand if I needed it for both. I don't understand anything. Okay, let's try again. So let's at least change that. And then this is probably, I'm assuming solution number 1 means slightly easier for person beginning. Okay, so part of the problem is I just have to use brackets for these properties, which I completely forgot. Oh no, go back, your if statement was fine. It's the block inside the if statement. It's the block inside the if statement. The block inside the if statement. Like this part? I know, I'm not there yet. I'm on this line. Because this... working on this. I'm figuring this out. I can do this. Okay, yeah, you're right. They say I can just do prop. At least for this. I don't know if I'm ready for a coding vibe guest stream just yet. But I appreciate you. And I'm gonna probably have you on stream one day. I'm gonna look at their solution and try to figure it out from there. And if I need you, I'll call for you, okay? I mean, need you to come up here. You are welcome to still help in the chat. I'm not trying to say you are overstepping at all, because you are not. I am simply vibing. And struggling. Struggle vibing? Is that anything? Okay. So I think I'm gonna pop this out so that I can view it side by side with my code for a sec. And then I'll let you all know what amazing things I discover. And I don't mean this in like a complainy way, but I do feel like this was a little advanced for how they taught it to me. Like, you know, you study all your homework and the concepts, and then you take the test and it's like significantly harder for some reason. That's what this felt like, but I know I don't properly understand all this yet, so that's also part of it, right? So this line is the same. Good. I didn't change it. So this one, I don't need this stuff. This was correct from the get-go. And I also have too many parentheses. Okay. If prop, tracks, and. Okay, this is all right now. So, cool. Then, okay, I'm not actually assigning anything, or declaring anything, I guess. I think if you finish this and understand it and then go back to the previous lessons, you'll see all the things. They just put like the past 6 lessons into one question without piecing less of them together. Yeah, I know. I guess I'm just curious, like, is this a bumpy point for other people? And I'm gonna guess yes. Because let me look at the like forum. Oh. Yeah, there's like quite a few topics about it. Interesting. Okay. Back to this. Back to this. I have too many tabs open. So here is where I do this stuff. So I might actually go back to the lessons after this because I want to understand this better than I am at the moment. Objects seem important. Okay, so this was very close. I'm giving myself credit. The main thing I missed, I think, is this, like when to use, I don't even know what you would call it, object stuff versus not object stuff. Okay, so let's try to apply that to the next couple lines before I look at the code that they provided. Okay, else if it is tracks. Yeah, you were setting a variable instead of setting the properties in an object. Yeah, I just realized I was setting a variable. So that's good. I was like, oh, there's an equal sign. That means I gotta put const or something. And the answer was no. Okay. Delete this extra parentheses. So this line, oh, okay, I was never gonna get this. So on this one, I totally forgot that there was a function for checking if it has a property, which I was trying to look up and then couldn't figure out what the terminology was. So no, that's that. I want to keep that one. That's the correct one. Okay. So this is records ID, and then the function question mark is has own property, and we're looking for the string again, tracks. Now why is it a string? You tell me. And then we're checking to see if it's false. This line I don't think I would have gotten to on my own without, even with like infinite hints. So clearly I need to back up and do this again. I also don't feel like it needs 3, but I'm clearly wrong about that too, because it wouldn't use 3 if it didn't need to. 3 equal signs. Okay. And then so the same thing here. Okay, what are you mad about? Why don't you like me? Does this need to be on the next line? Doesn't have to use triple equals, double is fine too. Well, then I'm gonna use double, and if it says it's not fine, then we'll know for a fact. Okay, but it is mad at me about something. Unexpected token, expected parentheses. Ah, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. There. Unexpected token, 2743. Else if why doesn't it like that I put this here? Okay, whatever. And then for this, I was trying to say, create an empty array and add value to it. And it turns out I can literally just put the word value in there. I don't have to like do this push thing. Ah, but we will be using push later. Let's see, did I mess any of this up? If prop is tracks. And records, yeah, that's not a dot. Records ID dot has own property. Tracks is false. Unexpected token. I don't know what to tell you. My tokens are right. All right, I'm ignoring this. Oh, this is for this one down here. Okay, well that's fine. That's fine. Okay, nice. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes things are working over here. Okay, so next one. If prop is tracks. Deleting some extra parentheses in the world here. Oh, that's fine. If prop is tracks and it's not an empty string. Add value to the end of the existing array. Okay, so this is a poppy, pushy. I am definitely referencing their code for this. Push, and then we're adding value. Oh, the word value stopping to look like a word. It looks like nothing anymore. Why do you think that's weird? When that's... Oh, why is there a plus sign? Dope. I was like, it's exactly the same as this line. It was not. Okay, so if... Have a good one-on-one. If the property is tracks and the value is not empty. Push value onto the existing tracks array. Okay. And then, oh wait, I forgot the word else. Else is an important word, I think, in programming. Else if value is an empty string. Delete the given prop value from the album. Okay, and they're just using the word delete, which I can't even remember if that's a thing they taught me, but checks out. Records, ID, prop. Okay, the last and only element. So what are we missing? So ABBA does not have tracks. So if there's no tracks, so we're looking at this one. If property equals tracks and there is no tracks value, then add an array. Here's what I missed. For some reason now we're doing this. Tracks record ID prop equals value. Records ID prop. Records ID prop equals value. I made it a string, not a string. Haha. Okay, this was a train wreck a little bit, so I'm gonna go back a little bit and re-look at some of this object stuff, because clearly this is not a strength of mine. Maybe we'll take some notes. I think it's likely a vocabulary issue as well, because like properties, strings, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like all the properties are stored as strings. Well, that makes things get a little confusing later. We did this one last time where I made an object called my dog and I did it after my dog. I'm trying to decide if I want to go through the exercises again or just kind of review it. Well, let's at least review and take some notes, because I can't go back and forth all the time easily. So here's my JavaScript notes from last time. Today we're talking about objects. Okay. So I think what I need to do is like run my pen directly into my water. No, I'm going to copy this sample object and then label all the different parts of it, sort of like the anatomy of a JavaScript object over here. So const cat equals curly brace name equals whiskers. Comma, legs equals 4, comma, tails equals 1, comma, enemies equals bracket water dogs. Okay. This is where the pretty highlighters, whoa, get dropped all over me, come in. Let's see. So this whole thing is an object. And I'm going to call it an object literal because now we know what that is. So object literal. Okay, properties. Are going to be pink for properties. Stored as strings. But can also be numbers. And then I'm going to write quotes can be omitted. If your object has any non-string properties, JavaScript will cast them as strings. Non-string properties. Are typecast. As strings. Okay, so that's objects, like 101 level. 101 level. Next, I'm just going to open these all in separate tabs. Oh, I did learn the delete function. Yeah, this is not my strong suit, I think, so far. Let's see. So this is using dot notation to access object properties. Prop val 1, string of val 1, prop val 2, be that. I think these two I get, but maybe not. Updating properties, adding new properties, deleting. Okay, so let's just put some examples in here of how to access these objects in the example we already wrote. So I'll do const my cat equals. Cat.name or cat bracket name using a variable to access a property. Add new existing. I'm going to highlight these bracket thingies. Bracket thingies, yeah. Real profesh. How to access these. All right. Excuse me. What am I thinking? Okay. If I wanted to change it, then it would be my cat.name equals Olivia. That's one of my cats. That's add / change, and that's access. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Delete is the same, but with the word delete, which makes sense. Objects can be thought of as a key value storage, like a dictionary. This statement is relying a lot on your previous experience to make that make sense, right? Okay, I remember this, the switch statements. Sometimes it's useful to see if the property exists or not. Let's has own property prop name. Accessing nested objects. Nested arrays. Yeah, I still feel like that last exercise was like a doozy in terms of difficulty increase. I don't know. Let me see if there's another resource on JavaScript objects that maybe the official docs. Which, did you know JavaScript was written by Firefox? Or like they, not the entity Firefox, but like that's who made it, is people that work at Firefox. So the docs are on Mozilla's website. Or not Firefox, Mozilla, but you know, Mozilla Firefox. You know. One of JavaScript's data types, it can be used to store various keyed collections. Okay. I feel like I need to figure out, like, there's something to the key thing I'm not getting compared to other, like the simpler data types we've been working with before. So maybe I need to define that a little bit here. Let's see. No. Objects, constructor behavior. I need objects for dummies. Standard built-in objects. Here we go. Fundamental objects. Nope. That brings me to the same page. Keyed collections. Structured data. JavaScript objects for beginners. That's me, beginner. Oh, here's also a blog from freeCodeCamp. If you declare multiple variables to hold different values, this makes your program messy and clunky. I don't really care about messy and clunky. I care about getting it, but I know that's part of it. For instance, if you need to store 3 characteristics each for 10 individuals, having 30 variables, yeah, that's true. Blah, blah, blah. Unlike other data types, objects are capable of storing complex values. Because of this, JavaScript relies heavily on them. This is why I wanted to look this stuff up, because I know this is going to be important for the future. So it's important that you become familiar with what an object is, how to create one, and how you can use it before going in depth into learning JavaScript. This article will introduce you to the basics of objects, object syntax, the different methods of creating objects, how to copy objects, and how to iterate over an object. In order to get the most of this article, you need to have a basic understanding of JavaScript, particularly variables, functions, data types. Okay, I'm going to write down this description. A data type that can take in collections of key value pairs. A major difference between an object and other data types, such as strings and numbers, is that an object can store different types of data as its values. On the other hand, primitive data types, such as numbers and strings, can only store numbers and strings, respectively, as their values. The key, also known as the property name, so I'm also going to say Key equals property name. Is usually a string. If any other data type is used, it's converted into a string. Okay, we got that. You can, hello coding vibe, welcome back. We're deep diving into objects because I feel like they are important and I want to make sure I understand them. I went back and went through some of the previous course stuff on it, but it still didn't feel detailed enough because some of it was like, oh, where's the one that I really didn't think was helpful? It was like objects are, oh yeah. My team member also did not know what an object literal was. There you go. I know things that programmers don't know. Yeah, like I thought this sentence really assumed that you knew a lot more than I do, at least. Objects can be thought of as key value storage, like a dictionary. This doesn't explain what key value or how that's like a dictionary. So I wanted to do a little more research, and we're taking some notes to make sure we don't work up objects because they are important. You can visualize an object as a multi-purpose shelf containing space for your gadgets and ornaments, as well as a storage space for books and files. The most recognizable feature of an object is the brackets, which contains the key value pair. I'm going to zoom in on this guy a little bit. Burp, burp, burp. Yeah, key value store is a very programmery thing. I suspect calling it a dictionary makes sense to you as someone who's done Python. I mean, it makes, like, I'm getting it now that I'm reading it, but I realized, like, I just kind of breezed past that, like, line, like the one, like, throwaway line, right? Like, I didn't absorb it in the way I needed to get it right when they had me more on my own for that last exercise. So that's why I'm trying to make it make sense. Because key value store, I feel like I've heard that phrase before, but like absorbing it is very different than, oh, I've heard this once or twice, right? And understanding that it's going to have those two different things would probably have helped me understand what these things need to include when I'm writing it. Okay. The contents can consist of variables, functions, or both. Variables are properties while functions are methods. Okay, this I don't think I knew. I mean, it makes sense. I'm out of space on this page, so I'm gonna start taking notes on the other page. So variables in objects equals properties. Functions. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your help. In objects equals methods. We're just trying to learn some vocab here and make sure that we're really absorbing this, because like I said, like I was saying, like JavaScript is object oriented. That means I should probably understand objects. Methods allow the object to use the properties within them to perform some kind of action. For example, in the sample code below, object1.user, object1.nationality, and object1.profession are all properties of object1, while object1.mybio is a method because it's a function. Okay. The keys are user, nationality, and profession. I don't know about this yet, so I'm not looking at that. I'm skipping that. I'm sure I'll take some notes on that. And it can be any data type. So here's some arrays and some objects. Wait, the values are both arrays and objects. Object, users, professions. And then these are objects within an object. Oof, mind blown. How to access objects and create new ones in JavaScript. I already took notes on that. Yeah, console.log, object2, users, age. Although dot notation is most common, it has limitations. You can't use values as property names with dot notation. If you want to use the value of a variable as a property name, you have to use brackets. A variable. So in this case, variable is gadget. If you define the variable value in your code, you can use dot notation to set that value as a property name of your object. And you do that, then dot notation will create a new property. Okay, so let me see this example. What? Const computer equals brands. My brain is melting. You can't use multi-word properties with dot notation. Okay, I did know that. How to create objects with the object constructor. Okay. An object literal and the object constructor. The objects used so far are object literals, object copies, spread. No, this is all stuff I don't know yet. The keyword is primer. Objects are probably the most important data type in JavaScript. Blech. Then it's good that I'm not quite getting it yet. Programming concepts like object-oriented programming work on the principle of leveraging the flexibility of objects to store complex values and their distinct capability of interacting with properties and methods within the object. Okay. This article lays a solid foundation. I love when articles are like, yeah, I did a good job. Pat on the back. We should all be so confident. In this article, excuse me. In this article, we'll look at fundamental JavaScript syntax and revisit some JavaScript features that we've already seen earlier in the course. I think you're doing great so far. JavaScript objects are kind of big and messy, so I think you're doing great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Actually, I wonder if there's I need a cheat sheet if anyone has written one. Aw, thank you. This is not a thing I would do if I were in school. I'm going to be honest. But I know, well, and also I'm diagnosed with ADHD and on Adderall now. And I know from my experience in school and from messing stuff up a lot that if you just keep pressing forward and don't figure out the basic stuff that I'm just going to have a bad time. So it is very mature. I am very mature. Thank you. I do feel like I've grown a lot in my life. So I'm glad to be doing this now rather than earlier where I would have just tried to press forward and not understood it and feel like I'm okay with it. Oh, I like this. No, not a YouTube video. I just wanted to look at the thumbnail. Because I like that this separates the object from properties and methods, which I think is going to become more and more important. JavaScript terms. No, that's just more general. JavaScript objects. I'm gonna say cheat sheet. Yeah, we all need a cheat sheet. This is on Reddit, so let's see. Twit. This is all Twitter. Twitter objects. I mean, I'm trying to think what else I want to write down, but I think a lot of it is just practice, which is frustrating. Let me see what the next exercise in freeCodeCamp is. Yeah, I need more diagrams. Let's see. Okay, the next one is loops, so we're not even doing objects for a while. Again, I want to return to this exercise later, so I'm going to pin the tab for maybe next stream. I'll try it again and see if I do better, or at least if I'm on the right path for it. Let me see how much more. I was really hoping I'd get closer to the end of this part today. I'll also probably, because this is a cohort and that's the whole point of the boot camp, right? I'll probably go to this part of the stream and watch that and try to absorb it and maybe take more notes as well. Oh, I didn't even show you all my notes. Okay. All right. We got to show them notes. Hold, please. Okay. So the last time on Naruto, we took notes about the equality symbols because I was struggling. That's up here through the box. This is where object starts. So I have my definition of the word objects, which is the key value store or the key value pairings. And it's a data type and it takes in collections of key value pairs. I also wrote key equals property name because depending on the instructions, it might refer to it differently and you need to know. You need to know those are the same. And then I have my example object. The yellow highlighter here, if you can see that, is saying that this whole thing is an object literal, which I included the word literal because that seems important and not like a thing a lot of people know. So, you get extra kudos for knowing that. And then I highlighted in pink the properties. And I wrote that hit the mic. I wrote that they're stored as strings, but can be numbers. Quotes can be omitted. Non-string properties are typecast as strings. That's important. So like in the records example, we've got the IDs. That's a string, even though it isn't a string when you write it. TLDR. I also have the bracket notation and the dot notation for accessing properties in the object and adding and changing. If you want to ask questions tonight, I can help. Also, if you want, I can solve it on stream tonight to try to help. Dude, maybe I might ask you that. So far so good, but yeah, I do want to review this. I don't want this to be the last time I try to do this because it will keep on keeping on. And then on this page, I only have two things so far, which is variables and objects equals properties, functions and objects equals methods. And Miles is visiting. Hello, Miles. Good timing for the large just chatting screen, huh? Hey, sir? Sir, can I help you? So yeah, that's there now in front of me. I have very little content tonight. Well, I'm glad to help you create content for your stream. A little guy, yeah, he heard I was struggling. Or he said, can I have some pets? Do you think he needs to go outside? That is entirely possible. Let me pet him a little bit, and then if you don't mind letting him out, that would be great. Yeah. Oh, he's having a good time up here. Look at him. He's got so much love in his beady little eyes. Big yawn. Thank you for the kiss. All right. You can grab him whenever. Let him outside if you don't mind. All right. So, yeah, I think that might be... Oh, there he goes. Bye, Miles. That might be where I cut it off for the day. I don't know, y'all. I don't really want to learn loops and separate this, and I don't have enough time to go through all these different loopy things at the moment, but I do want to go back to this object exercise next time or the time after just to try to revisit it and do it after I've forgotten a little bit more of what the solution is, right? Let me see if there's anything else in these million tabs I opened that I want to write down as notes, and then we'll call it a day. Oh yeah, I didn't finish reading this, so... Man, objects, y'all, who knew? It is very common to use an object to create an object using an object literal when you want to transfer a series of structured related data items in some manner. For example, sending a request to the server to be put in a database. That's like exactly the example that we were doing with the records just like a personal little record database. Sending a single object is much more efficient. Oh, thank you. I'm just reading. I always forget to change my scenes. Appreciate it. What do you want to do? A series structured related data items in some manner. Sending a single object is much more efficient than sending several items individually. It's easier to work with than an array. Name first, last. Bracket notation. Object members. So far we've only looked at getting them. You can also set. Setting members doesn't just talk. Blah, blah, blah. What is this? Okay, so yeah, I haven't done this yet. I get the feeling that will be a thing. That'll be a thing. Ooh, maybe I can do this test later. So I think I'm gonna favorite this because it was helpful. Close this, close this, close this, close this, close, close, close. Oh my gosh, I have so many tabs. We had a little struggle. A little object struggle today, it's fine. All right, so, oops, I didn't mean to open that. No, not recursion. Okay. We got to 95 out of 113. Hold, I'm gonna do some math with the calculator. We are 84% through with this part of the course, and then we will move on to ES6, which I'm very excited for because I'm supposed to be there and I'm behind. But also excited because that's important. So join me on Thursday if you're around, where we'll work on some more object stuff, learning it very deeply, and then move on to, looks like loops. Yeah, loops and recursion. Ooh, ternary. That's a new word for me. So some fun stuff like that. And then ES6. That's what we'll be doing on Thursday. So let's see if there's anyone on to raid. And if y'all have any suggestions, please let me know. Oh gosh, everyone I see is got like a lot of followers, and I always feel weird being like, here's a couple of followers. Ooh. So I try to find people that are like a little bit more my size. Not that anyone's ever been mean to me about it, but you know. Let's see, yeah. Oh, Doofufu's on, actually. Yeah, Doofufu. Okay, we're gonna raid our pal Doofufu. I don't know why. Oh, I guess when you put the raid button in Twitch, it just automatically picks the channels you follow with the most people, and that's a little silly if you ask me. All right, cool. So yeah, we'll go. I guess I'll hold. It's Big Mia. It's Big Mia. Yeah. So we'll go raid Doofu. We'll say hi. Doofu was in the chat earlier, so always nice to pay the favor back. Hang out for a little bit. I'll be there for a bit, and then yeah, have a good rest of your day. I'll be back on Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, and remember to keep it cute. See you then. Bye.